Hi Gemini, welcome to Magpie Moonchild. My name is Kayleigh and this is the October general reading for your sign. As always, the housekeeping is down below, so if you want to know what decks I'm using or how to book a personal reading and all that jazz, it's all down there, along with the subscription button if you feel so inclined. So let's see what we have for you. As I will explain the cards that I'm pulling, I will pull one for the first week of October, the second week of October, the third week of October, and the last part of October, whether that's a week or 10 days, whatever it is, that is the last card. And then I will pull a fifth card for the overall energy of the month, or at least the energy that we can harness and use from the month that we are going through, which is October. So let's see what we have for you, Gemini. What do we have for the first week of October? We have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is looking about where we are going to commit our energy. This is a big commitment. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of maintenance. It's going to take a lot of adjustments along the way. We're also going to learn some really big lessons along the way. It's something that we're going to plant and put energy, whether that's material investment as in time, effort, money, space potentially, because this is to do with our material world. So it's our relationships, our job, our house, even ourselves. So whatever you're thinking about investing in, you need to recognize that it's going to be a big commitment. It's going to take a lot of time and effort. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And we are going to learn some hard lessons along the way. But it's Pentacles. So as long as you put in that effort and that blood, sweat and tears and investment, it should have the amazing yield at the end of the harvest. The Knight of Pentacles is my farming apprentice card. It's very much the energy of we are planting the seed because we found the right environment. We've used our knowledge to find the best field to plant our seed in. We've planted that seed. Then we're going to have to work all through the season. We're going to have to work through watering it, planting the seeds, getting the ground ready, planting the seed, watering them, nourishing them, ensuring that the birds aren't getting to them, doing that protection energy, protection work. It may well be that we lose some of the crops along the way. In our field, we may lose a patch. And then we're looking at, can we bring in, if that happens, we need to bring in other people that can help us, that can give us advice. We may need to bring people in to help us maintain the land if we're sick or we're struggling. We may need to bring in other investors. And then we're working our way through until we get a crop and we see that this crop is actually taking hold. And then we're pouring in extra energy and effort because we need this crop to pay off. And then we recognize that it is going to be paying off. So we keep tending it, we keep working away, and then we get the whole big payment at the end. And if we're really lucky, we have enough to feed us all through winter, all through the seasons. We have enough for everybody to eat. We have enough to support and sustain us, and then sometimes we even have a little bit extra so that we can invest back in if we need to. We have seeds for next year, and we have enough to start this whole farming career that we have. So the Knight of Pentacles goes through that whole journey. There's all this work to do, so it's a big commitment, especially if it's like a relationship. You need to be prepared to be there for somebody in the tough and the rough with the smooth, the hard and the easy. You also have to recognize that sometimes you're going to have to ask for help too. You have to be prepared to be vulnerable with somebody. If it's to do with job, it may well be that you need to go and do some long-term training or some work towards being developed enough to do that, to get to that place where you are successful and established in that career. So absolutely, make sure that you're prepared to do this commitment, that it's going to take time, effort, energy, and gaining skills along the way. You're going to have to be adaptable along the way and be prepared to ask for help when you need it. For the second week of October, we have the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is, oh no, it's not the Six of Cups, it's the Nine of Cups. Sorry, why was I getting the Six of Cups? Maybe there's nostalgia attached to this. Maybe this is you going for something that you've always wanted to have, always hoped you'd have. This is going for emotional fulfillment. You are committed. It's also the Wish card, and this investing in this is going to bring you that emotional fulfillment, that emotional reward, things that you've kind of hoped and wished for. The difference between wishing and manifesting is wishing is just going, I would like this, and hoping that it falls in your lap. Manifesting is very much making sure that you are putting the effort in. So it might be that you want somebody to come into your life that you want to commit to, but what are you doing to be ready for that person to come in? Are you working on yourself so that you are a whole person that can be a stable and equal partner in a relationship? Or are you wishing that somebody will come in for you? And so you're just sat there waiting for somebody to save you. And the really bad news is nobody's going to come in and save you. You have to be working on yourself. If you go into that relationship in any way we all have work to do. I'm not saying you don't have work to do going in as a whole person, like, oh, I'm perfect. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you don't have any major codependency issues, that you're an independent person that functions and can heal and support themselves. Because if you go into that with codependency, then there's a power imbalance, and either that person's going to feel smothered because you're clingy and you need them all the time, and they're having to support you, so they're giving more than they're taking. There's an imbalance, and that doesn't lead to healthy relationships. It can lead to toxicity in a relationship, and what could potentially be an incredible relationship that you've wished for and hoped for is going to be tainted from the beginning, because there's this codependency going on. It's okay to have codependency for a temporary amount of time, but if it's not rectified and the balance isn't brought back into alignment, then that's just going to keep going until one person's had enough and they leave that relationship. So you need to make sure that you're maintaining yourself as much as you're maintaining the other person. But whatever this is you're committing to, if there's a job, again with a job, if you're putting in too much effort and not getting paid for it, you're going to lose morale. It's about making sure that there is this balance between what you need and what you're giving to another person, what you're receiving, this mutual energy exchange, whether that's a career, whether that's a home, whatever it is. Make sure that you are being emotionally fulfilled and you are content with what's happening and what you're investing, and that you are getting that replenishment back and forth from whatever this is that you're putting all this effort and time and energy and emotion into. So yes, it may well be that at the end of this you do have that emotional fulfillment. You just need to keep working to get to that point. But yes, this is very much leading to whatever it is you believe you need in order to be emotionally fulfilled. The third card that we have with this is the King of Wands, and as I said, keeping that eye on the prize, this is going to take a long road. This is going to take a lot of work, and the King of Wands is all about inspiration, keeping inspired in order to produce, to keep the kingdom moving. He inspires them, he rallies them, he keeps morale up. He follows his instincts of what it is he needs to bring in, or to get which section he needs to get going to go and make sure the kingdom's running. It's following your instincts, following your gut, following your passion, in a sustained, prolonged way. This isn't the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is flash in the pan, one night stand, off he goes. This is somebody that is passionate, that knows what they're doing, they have experience, and they are still inspired by what it is that they're doing. So this is about maintaining your morale, keeping yourself inspired, making sure that you're still having fun while you're doing it, because if you're enjoying it, it makes the work twice as easy. It makes it so much easier to be enjoying what it is you're doing. So make sure that what it is you're doing is making you happy, is keeping you inspired, is keeping you engaged, in order for you to feel fulfilled and to feel like you're progressing, like you're achieving, that you're developing towards where it is you want to be. Okay, let's see what we have. You have to maintain passion. Let's see what we have for the last part of October. We have the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles is that energy that I was saying about, which is that full constriction, that there are things coming up that may well be affecting your emotional, your physical material world. So it may well be that you find there is a period where you don't have as much energy to be investing in what it is you want to do, and sometimes we have to allow ourselves time to bring people in to support us when we are struggling. This is about recognizing that you cannot do everything all on your own, that sometimes we need to collaborate with others or ask others for help. These two people are out in the snow struggling when they're stood outside a church. If they go and knock on the door, then they could be let in and they can find sanctuary and they can find support. They just need to ask for it. They just have to knock on the door and ask for it. So if you are struggling towards the end of October, speak up, get the support that you need, especially if it's to do with a relationship and you're pouring all this energy into it and you're trying to do the effort and you're struggling in some way with yourself. It's okay to be vulnerable, and like I said, it's okay to need that support sometimes. Just make sure that you are then using that support in order that it's supporting you to do the work on yourself to get back to where you're okay, and then you can give that support back the other way, or you're back into this energy where you're in reciprocity back and forth equally. So yes, the end of October is probably going to be quite materially hard. So if it comes to it, if you need to say to somebody, I can't afford my shopping, can you just lend me some money to the end of the month? Make sure that you're not going to any non-reputable lenders for that. But it can be just as simple as, look, I'm struggling, could you... Somebody will probably cook you a meal and say, do you know what, just come to mine. Then you haven't got to use your electricity, you haven't got to use your utilities, just come to mine, come and stay with me. If you, for any reason, find that you are out in the cold, make sure that you are contacting people that can support you with that. If you are finding yourself in a place of homelessness, contact the relevant charities. Make sure that you are contacting any, even religious organisations that can help you, support you through that time. You are not alone in the world. There is support out there for you. You just have to reach out for it. And if you can't find those people directly, then reach out to your friends and family, and they can at least try and find out that information. If they can't help you directly, then they can signpost you to somewhere that can help you. But you are not alone. You are not alone. This is that time where I said, yes, you're very committed to where it is you want to be and what it is you want to achieve. But in order to get there along the way, you have to allow people to support you and help you when you require it. Okay, let's see what we have as the overall energy for this month of October. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is very much fortunes possibly changing in the month. Remember that when things turn down, they always turn back up again. It's recognizing that there are cycles, that there are phases, that what goes down must come back up again. And if it is the case that your fortunes are going on a downward turn right now, remember that they will come back up again. It may well be that there is this little downturn now, but there's a reason for it. There is restriction for a reason, and in the long run, it will be of benefit. You will achieve, you will succeed. But right now there's this little downturn, this little constriction, almost like a speculation in order to accumulate later on. But this is kind of out of your control. Rather than you choosing to spend a little bit in order to gain in the future, this is kind of being brought in for you. Fate is coming in for that. The wheel will turn though. So as we come into Samhain, Halloween, that is the next turn on the wheel for us, for our seasons. We've just had Mabon, and now we're going to go into Samhain, Halloween in October. So you may feel this constriction as we go into Halloween, but this is kind of things falling away in order for, it's kind of that death card energy where things are coming in and falling away. We have that constriction and that loss in order for us to gain momentously afterwards with what's coming in to replace that. So there will be constriction for a little while towards the end of the month, but hopefully it should, as the wheel turns, you should find that it will turn up relatively quickly. It's a month at the most that we were in constriction, but to be honest, I don't even see it being a month long, but there is this constriction towards the end of the month as we go through the veil of Samhain at the end, Halloween. I hope this is of some use to you, Gemini, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye for now.